Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be exploring my 100-day project for 2021, which is working with my non-dominant hand. So as you'll see in this video, I had a bike accident about 5 weeks ago now, where I completely smashed up my wrist in my right hand, and I have had to adapt to a cast. I think you can see it down the corner, a little pink cast. I can't move my arm, can't move my hand, can't move my wrist. It's all pinned, plated and glued together. So I am creating with my left hand. Now for those of you who have followed my journey before, know that for me art journaling is a huge part of my mental health touchstone. I art journal to, keep myself regulated, keep myself on the right track. So I was finding it really tough when I couldn't create art at all. So lots of people on both on all my social media platforms, on YouTube and so on, have challenged me to use my left hand. And I thought, well, why not? So I started slowly. Now this is a few days in. I think this is like day 7 or 8, so I've been practicing a little bit before I got to this point, but basically my motto has been just try, just see if you can do it, and if you can't, that's okay, because you can always put paint over the top. And it's kind of been really freeing to do. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but none of my art is actually perfect when you look at it, and for those people who follow my channel for a while will know that my saving graces have been mark making stamps to do so-called detailed stuff, I suppose. While I can sort of loosely use a paintbrush and very loosely use a pencil to sort of make some scribbly marks, my detailed work still needs a lot of work. So by able to sort of put some stamps over the top, I found that really helpful to my process. So on this page I started off using acrylic paints. I then started using some scribble sticks. I wanted to see how they worked. I'm working in my junk journal. This is a junk journal that was given to me by the lovely Chrissy Mannix. And for those again who follow my channel know I love working in junk journals, but particularly for this process it's been really fantastic, because while I usually have very low expectations of my art journals anyway, I'm more than happy to go in and just have a go, and if it doesn't work it's fine. I've got even less expectations in a junk journal. So particularly when I was first starting using my left hand, it was, what have you got to lose? It's a junk journal. You can paint over it, you can tear it out, it's all good. And that was really good because it gave me the confidence just to have a go. And what I've been doing over the last few weeks is just playing with all the products I tend to play with, and seeing what I can do with them. So I'm using a paintbrush I've got a bit of control over. I'm using the scribble skits, I use my fingers. What I have found with these Stabilo Woodies, so everyone knows I love my Stabilo oil pencils. The Stabilo Woodies are a chunky kids version, which come in lots of bright colours that you can see. And I was finding I wasn't having enough pressure with my left hand to push down. So I could get marks in the background, but they weren't particularly bright. But as you know, I use my heat gun a lot to dry off my layers, and I used the heat gun previously and then put some of the orange on, and I found because the Stabilo Woodies are really creamy, that the heat on the page actually made them go on, they just glided onto the page. So I continued to heat up my page to create the rest of what I was doing, and you can see I've got those really bright vibrant colours over the top. So I'm going in, I just found a little quote to put on my page, and I'm outlining it with my Stabilo oil pencil. So that's it really. It's just playing around with what I've got to see what I could come up with, and I came up with this little abstracty page. But I was kind of on a roll and I was enjoying what I was doing, so I decided to do another page. So again, starting off with my acrylic paint, I've got the apricot from Dina Wakley. One thing I have found really difficult is, I love my stencils, and I just do not have the control with stencils. I could kind of do that wipe away technique, but I had to use my hand as a paperweight to hold it down. And stenciling through, I have tried on numerous occasions as well, and I just don't have the crispness that I really love on stencil pages, which is really sort of frustrating. But look, it is what it is, and I'm going to have to learn how to use my stencils in a new way for a little while. So I have been experimenting since, seeing if I can use my gel plate, which I can up to a point, but I find it awkward trying to lift my book to put it in the right space, I suppose, to be able to pick up the print. So it's a learning process. So with this page, instead of using my Stabilo Woodies, I'm just using paint to make marks on the page. And again, like I do with most of my mark making, I use different paint brushes to help me make the marks. With a lot of the stuff that I've been doing in this book, I really haven't been concentrating on colour all that much. Or if I have done it, it's been sort of very subconscious. I've basically just been choosing paints that are close to me because they're easier to grab. And I've had to learn how to take off the paint lids one-handed because I just cannot hold anything with my other hand, or I find it really, really difficult. Because I smashed it up so well, I've actually torn all the tendons in my wrist. I smashed off the side, the bones that hold my tendons on my wrist, and I've also torn the tendons, so I really have no turn on my hand at all. So yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but it's all good. It'll work out. So I'm hoping by the start of March that I will have all my cast off. I'll have my last operation to get my pins out. The plates and the screws will stay in there, but I should be able to get the pins out. And I might be able to start using my right hand again. But I've certainly enjoyed the challenge of using my non-dominant hand, and I've been really, really pleased with what I've been able to create with it, because I honestly didn't think I would be able to do this. So it is amazing what happens when you are really forced to use what you don't have, using my cast as a paperweight there. My girly girls love pink. Pink's their favourite colour, so they request I get a pink cast when I go back in tomorrow to the fracture clinic, and they've requested purple next, so you may see purple cast popping up in my videos from now on too. So in the background, I have done my mark making. I wanted to tie my marks together a little bit, which is why I put that white over the top, but then I found it too white, so I wanted to bring back some of the colour, which is why I wiped some of it away. I also used the number stamps kind of to act as a bit of a horizon. So I knew I wanted to put these little paper dolls in, and I wanted a little bit of a horizon line, so I just used my stamps again that I've got sitting around next to me to stamp off. I found, again, obviously I cannot use scissors at the moment, or I can, but it's really, really awkward, and it's only tiny little snips, so I certainly can't cut out anything intricate. So using the Tim Holtz paper dolls, or things that are already cut out, chipboard shapes in Dina Waverley chipboard shapes, or the Scrap FX chipboard shapes, anything I can sort of just glue down one-handed, I've been able to use. And I really like that I've got a little bit of collage into my books again, because I do love using collage so much. So here are my two pages. They look they're pretty much the same technique on both pages, but they look completely different. One has sort of this vintage grungy vibe, and the other one's very bright and colourful. Using the same technique and using my non-dominant hand. So I would challenge you, not necessarily to use your hand that you don't want to, but try doing something that's a little bit awkward or a little bit different. Like, push yourself to maybe use a material that you really struggle with, and just challenge yourself to do it. I am, I suppose, quite lucky in the fact that I just cannot use my right hand, because I know I'd probably sneak if I could. So the fact that it is in a paperweight cast is quite handy, but I'm really enjoying the challenge. So yeah, if you'd like to see more of what I'm doing in my 100-day project, please check out my Instagram link you'll find linked below. Until next time, bye for now.